Hello everyone, this is JINA. Maybe sometimes you can hear what Korean people are talking about and you can understand it, but you think you can't still make any of those sentences by yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to explain the basic Korean sentence structures to you. There are 4 basic sentence types in Korean. First one is subject plus predicate, which are key elements when making sentences. And based on this structure, we can put either adverbial or object, or sometimes we can add both of them in the sentence. Now let's learn with a simple sentence that's gonna be a key for learning this sentence structure. 준수 sleeps. 준수가 자요. 준수 is the subject of the sentence and 자요, sleep, would be the predicate. The predicate is the part of a sentence which tells something about subject, and it could be either verb or adjective, like sleeping, eating, beautiful, big and small. From this sentence, you can also add the place. 준수 sleeps in the library, and in the library, 도서관에서 is what we call adverbials. Adverbials are words that can give more information about verbs. They can just be a word or in a phrases, and they often say when, where, or how often something happens. Let's look at another sentence together. 준수가 빵을 먹어요. 준수 is the subject of the sentence, and eats, 먹어요, would be the predicate. So 준수 is performing the action and the bread is eaten by 준수. And since it is receiving the action, we call the 빵, bread, the object. From here, you can make the sentence like this. 준수 is eating bread in the library. In this sentence, they've got the subject, object, predicate, and they added the information where 준수 is eating. So these are the 4 basic Korean sentence structure: the subject plus predicate, subject plus adverbials plus predicate, and third one, subject plus object plus predicate, and last one, subject plus adverbials plus object plus predicate. And as you can see, predicate always come at the very end of the sentence. And the order of subject, object, and adverbials can be changed depending on the intention of speaker. And sometimes people can omit the subject in daily conversation if the listener understands who is performing the action. Now let's compare with the English language as an example. In English, the object always comes after the verb. For instance, in the sentence, I ate an apple, I is the subject, eat is the verb, and an apple is the object. However, the Korean language works with a subject, object, verb structure. So predicate eat is always placed at the end of a sentence. Therefore, we should say I, an apple, eat in Korean. But we can never say just 사과, 나 while making sentence. And we should put something else after this noun, and we call this particles. Particles are something like a name tag. These particles help to connect the word by making it more natural, and by adding them, the words can be identified if it's either subject, object, or adverbials of the sentence. And please remember that there is no space in between the word and the particle. Let's look at one example. There are 2 words, room and study. 방, 공부하다. And I put the place particle 에서, which is at, in English, and it can make the sentence more softer and natural. I study in my room. So back to the sentence. 나는 사과를 먹다. I eat an apple. And for today, I just want you to get an idea of what the particles are, and we are not going to focus on each particle today. So good. 나는 사과를 먹다. It is not grammatically wrong, but we don't actually use this sentence when talking to others. And there is one more thing that you need to change from here. Perhaps you could hear about Korean conjugation a lot, and I believe this is the part that makes most Korean learners confused. In Korea, there is a dictionary form which always ends up with 다. In most cases, we change this base form into many different forms by removing the word 쌤다 and adding another word ending behind the word stem. For example, the base form to eat in Korean, 먹다, can be changed into 먹자, which means let's eat. 먹었어, past tense verb, and 먹고 있어, is eating. Good? So if you know these 2 things, where to put particles and how to change the verb depending on the situations, you will feel much easier to write and communicate in Korean. Hope this video helps you to understand how the Korean sentences look like, and please let me know if you got any questions. Thank you. 감사합니다.